Welcome to the Accelerated Achievement Show, the podcast in which two-time published author, international speaker, and CEO Bogdan Juncewicz deconstructs and uncovers the tools and the strategies for accelerated learning, accelerated skill development, and accelerated business and life achievement. Achievement accelerated with the Accelerated Achievement Show.
Welcome to episode 2 of the Accelerated Achievement Show. A 2017, a New Year's special, meaning what is it that will make the difference for you or for me or for people in 2017? What is it that will make this year amazing? What will make the difference? What is it that will make that change, that transition, that will help us really accelerate our achievement in 2017? And you may be thinking, why is this released on the 31st of December, not on the 1st, if it's a New Year's special? And that's the power of the internet now. You can listen whenever. You could be listening in 2021 to this. You could listen to whenever. But if you're listening to this on the 31st, then that's the best. Because on the 1st, people are already caught up in the busyness of the year. They're already started and they're in that busyness of life that lasts for the next 12 months. So it's really, this released on the 31st as a preparation, as a pep talk before the year. Because with technology growing so fast and change progressing so fast, 2017 is going to be an amazing year. And things that we think that aren't even possible right now, won't even be possible a year from now, people will achieve. And they'll achieve them in an incredible way. The things we're going to see over next year as technology progresses, not just in a linear way, but in an exponential way. Growing, kind of like a snowball effect. As it gets faster, change gets faster every year. With technology getting faster every year. With more distractions than ever. What is it that will make the difference in 2017? What is it that will make the difference for you? Because if you've set a New Year's resolution for the year, firstly, I personally think New Year's resolutions suck most of the time. But if you have, what is it that will help you keep it? Firstly, a few reasons why. Firstly, most people set New Year's resolutions on the 23rd or the 25th or the 27th and then spend the next 3, 5, 7 days doing nothing, waiting for the calendar to turn, which frankly is stupid, waiting for the calendar to turn before they actually start changing and bettering their life. That's why New Year's resolution. And secondly, it comes from low-level commitment. So hopefully you've set goals for the year, and if you haven't, by the end, goals, not just resolutions, not just intentions, but actual things you want to achieve and you're committed to achieve. And you've probably set year goals before, so what is it that will make the difference? And that's also what this episode 2 of the Accelerated Achievement Show is all about. What is it that will make the difference?
Achievement accelerated with the Accelerated Achievement Show.
Will make 2017 the best year ever for you, for your family, for your friends, and for the things that you've always wanted to achieve. So firstly, the best way to improve your year is to look backwards, not forwards, is to look backwards. If you want to accelerate your achievement in 2017, it's tough, and I love this quote, you can't connect the dots looking forward, you have to connect looking backwards. And maybe you've done this, maybe you haven't, but have you assessed your year? What has 2016 been like for you? What have you achieved? What hasn't gone so well that you can improve? So the first thing I'm going to cover is how can you assess the year for accelerated achievement in 2017? I'm going to give you 5 questions you can ask yourself in order to assess the year effectively compared to what most people do, which simply puts them in a state of underwhelm and of a state of thinking that nothing will happen for them this year. So how do you assess the year in a way that empowers you and at the same time is realistic and actually gets you results? So let's start with that. So number 1, effectively assessing the year. This will the first thing that will make the difference for you in 2017. So how can you assess the year? Because for most people, they look back at 2016 and they think to themselves, oh, 2017 sucked. this went wrong and this went wrong. Oh, and don't even get me started on this. This was a complete disaster. And this fell apart. And I don't even want to think about this. They start thinking about all the things that fell apart. And if you really want to accelerate your achievement, as in achieve things that most people will think that is impossible, and if you want to achieve that in record time, hence accelerated achievement in 2017, achieve what? Because that's the goal with this. I don't want you to just achieve the things that you would normally achieve next year if you were to fast forward. But what if you could achieve what you would normally achieve in 2, 3, 4 years in just the next 12 months through various accelerated achievement strategies? Hence, assessing the year effectively. So most people, as I said, start by just picking out all the things that went wrong, and then they feel underwhelmed and feel kind of depressed for the next year, thinking that nothing's going to get better. So these 5 questions to help you assess the year and better prepare yourself for 2017. Number 1, what went well in 2016? Don't start with what went wrong, what fell apart. Start with what went well. Because so many times in achievement, in learning, in skill development, in progress, and in accelerated achievement, people they focused on what went wrong, and therefore they forget about the things that went right, and therefore they completely forget about them, and they're kind of taking 1 step forward and taking 2 steps back. So what went well, and how, and now this brings me on to question number 2. How can you continue doing these things, the things that went well, how can you continue doing them in 2017? So 5 questions you can ask yourself. Number 1, what went well? And you could pause this, grab a piece of paper, answer this question. What went well in 2017? What ritual did you start? What achievement did you do? What thing did you do that you're very proud of? What strategy did you use? What tactic? What did you do that went well that you can bring into 2017 and kind of stack other strategies on top of in order to really accelerate your achievement and achieve the things that you want to achieve? And you're probably already thinking about them. That's great. Thinking about the things that you can achieve in 2017. Number 1, what went well? Number 2, how can you continue doing these things? What strategies, what rituals can you put in place in order to continue doing the things that went well? Because if you're going to continue, you don't want to be taking 1 step forward, 2 steps back. That's not the fastest way. That's not the accelerated achievement way. You want to take 1 step forward and then another 1 step forward, another 1 step forward. You don't want to be taking steps back. So number 2, how can I continue doing these things that went well again in 2017? Number 3, so once you've done that, once you've assessed what went well, what's the vision? What is it that, if in an ideal world, you would achieve by the end of 2017? Imagine that you're listening to this 1 year from now, 12 months from now. What is it that, in an ideal world, where would you be? What would you have achieved in 2017? And that brings us on to question 4, what can you improve? This is where you're digging in, not from a critical way. Most people, when they look back at their year, they're critical of things and they're blaming themselves and beating themselves up. If you really want to accelerate your achievement, you need to look at it from a critical way. What can you do? What can you do, and look at it from a non-emotional way, as in it's not your fault. Look at what you can do to improve. This is why question 3 is so important. Bringing that vision so that it becomes about the vision and achieving that compared to beating yourself up. So number 4, what can you improve for accelerate achievement? And then that brings us on to number 5, how can you make sure these changes happen? And that's where thinking ahead, instead of simply setting a goal, setting something you want to achieve, how can you make sure it happens? How can you schedule strategies and friends and accountability around you to make sure the things you want to happen. So those 5 questions. Number 1, what went well? Number 2, how can you continue doing these things well? Number 3, what's the vision for the next 12 months? Number 4, how can I improve? As in, what didn't go so well, how can you improve it? Number 5, how can you make sure that these improvements happen? Those 5 questions, answer them and assess your year before you even start coming up with goals and resolutions or things for the new year. Those 5 questions. And that's just assessing Now, what is it that can we do that maybe you haven't done in 2016? Because something's going to change. If you want to create change, not just change, but progress and positive move forward in 2017, what can you do to accelerate your achievement? And what can you do? What strategies, what tactics, what can you use to achieve what would normally take 2, 3, 4 years in just the next 12 months? That's why in this podcast, in episode 2, in this New Year special, I want to give you a few strategies you can use in 2017. So let's get into it. Number 1, selection. Selection is a strategy for accelerated achievement in 2017. You see, most people start the year with a list of 412 different things to achieve. That's not vision. That's not direction. That's not ambition. That's a recipe for underachievement and complete overwhelm. Thinking, whoa, how am I going to achieve all this? So, selection. Instead of writing out a goal, a list of goals, more is not more when it comes to goal setting and ambition setting, especially for a period of 12 months or less. Create something, select what's most important. Because the core of accelerated achievement, I'm about to talk about this, is focus and imbalance. Imbalance, not balance, imbalance. So what is it that you can choose? Instead of writing out a list of 412 goals, write out a list of the core few things. Because if you're focused in 2017, because focus, and I talk to this with coaching clients, focus is a habit. Focus is a habit more than anything else. It's a habit being someone who's focused, and it's a habit being someone who's not. Constantly distracted by, oh, look, new Facebook notification. Oh, look, new Twitter tweet that I need to read. Oh, look, this happened, this phone going off, all these different things. Being distracted is a habit that, frankly, most of us are in, and I've been victim of this as well. Most of us are in this habit, especially with this constantly innovative world where constantly new things are being added in social media. So how can we get rid of a little bit of that clutter for 2017, and how can you select? Meaning if you've already written out a list of goals, get rid of some of them, as in disqualified, put them aside for now. What are the things you're going to focus on? Because if you're focusing this year, you're going to accelerate and achieve things that you didn't even think you can achieve in just 12 months. If you're focused, what's the direction you're going in? So number 1, selection. Number 2, if you want to make 2017 your best year, and you want to accelerate your achievement in 2017, imbalance is going to be your best friend. Yes, you heard that right. Imbalance, not balance. Imbalance, and longer periods of imbalance. Because here's the thing that people talk about, and frankly talk about all the time and keep saying and believing, is that they want to balance every day, every week, every month of their life. And I'll be talking far more about this in this realm of accelerated achievement in 2017. How can you create more imbalance in your life? Meaning, if you want to achieve something, whether it's to write a book, to run a marathon, whether it's to start a business, whether it's to go and do that thing that you never thought you would do, that scared you, those things that you want to achieve in 2017 that you've thought about, but maybe you haven't written down because of fear or because of something stopping you. But how can you achieve those in this year and next 12 months? Because as much as the last 12 months are yes and no, a reflection of what's going to happen. Meaning that 2017 may be a huge change in your life, but at the same time it may not be. Because you're coming into the year with, yes, great intentions, as many people have on the first of the month, 1st of January, but you're still coming in the same rituals. So what's going to change it? And for me, it's the new strategies, new rituals, new things that you're going to put into your life are going to create that change. It's not going to be a new intention or more willpower, because willpower doesn't last, but it's that strategy that's going to last, that ritual that's going to last. Because, okay, so more about this imbalance. You may be thinking, Bogdan, wait, what? I want to create more balance in my life. I'm so stressed out with everything I've got going on right now, and I'm so focused on my business, or so focused in my job, or so focused on this. How can I create more balance, not imbalance? What are you talking about? And here's what I'm telling you. It's not about balance. It's about counterbalancing. Because if you attempt to go into 2017 with the mindset that every day, every week, every month you want to create balance, where every day you're doing some of this and some of this and a little bit of this, a little bit of this, every little bit of this, in order to create balance in your life every day, you're going to slow down your achievement. And if you want accelerated achievement, meaning if you want to maximize your time, you're going to get comfortable with the feeling of imbalance. Imbalance as in for a period of time, moving away. As in moving away from certain things in your life. Imbalanced, meaning let's say you have your family, you have your career, you have your health. Imbalance would be where you're in for a period of time, meaning you're for longer periods of time, you're in imbalance. Meaning compared to a balance would be every day you go in, you have a little bit of like focus on your health outcomes in the morning, have a little bit of focus on this outcome in this, then focus on this outcome. In the morning, focus on your health, then your family, then your business, then your goal of climbing Mount Everest. Then before lunch, you're focusing on your goal to become great at table tennis. Then you're focused on your goal of learning how to knit. Then you're focused on this goal, and you're doing that every single day. Your mind is constantly scattered. But if you could put yourself in that state of imbalance where for 3 days you're focused just on your business or just on this one project, you're going to accelerate that achievement. Then you counterbalance and you go into 3 days or 2 days or just an hour or 2 hours or 5 hours of being with your family or being with your friends or doing that. And it's that imbalance switching. So the transition, this is what's going to make the difference in 2017. If you follow it for your accelerated achievement, if you want to achieve the things you want to achieve faster, imbalance is going to make that difference, as crazy as that sound. Meaning, focus on things for a longer period of time before then changing direction and focusing immersively on something else. And switching, counterbalancing between the two instead of attempting to squeeze everything into every moment. Focus is the key, and that's what's gonna change it. If you're focused on a goal for a longer period of time, you're picking up that momentum. So let's recover. So number one, selection. Selection as in these are the things, some of the things that are gonna make the difference if you apply them for 2017. Selection, as in what things are the most important to you? What few things will really make the difference? What few things will make pretty much everything else irrelevant when you look back at it? What few things that if you achieve will make everything else look insignificant? Every other goal look like just something that really isn't that important. What are the core things that you can go after? Number two, imbalance. Again, I've said so much about this. I'm going to be talking about this a lot more in 2017. Longer periods where your focus is on one thing instead of your focus is on everything. Because when your focus is on everything, your focus is on nothing. So periods of imbalance, kind of like a ship going in one direction for a longer period of time, then switching direction, then switching direction. So if you imagine a straight line. Imagine you have a piece of paper in front of you, and you have a straight line going from the bottom of the page to the top of the page. Instead of most people where they're going slightly at an angle to the left for a little bit, for a second, for a percentage of a centimeter, and then switching, going in the other way, crossing the horizontal line, crossing the line, and going back over and over and over, constantly switching and attempting to balance everything, you're going off to the side of the page, then going to the other side of the page, going in longer focus periods. So these things are going to really make the difference. What strategies and what is it that will make the difference for you? These are just some things, but surely there's things you've learned, and this is where the assessment comes in of the year. How can you accelerate your achievement? And I'll be sharing far more about this of upcoming episodes. How can you accelerate your achievement in 2017? Because it's not just about achievement. It's not about just getting somewhere, because you may have a goal, but that goal for right now, based on what you're doing, might take you 40 years to achieve. Frankly, you may not want that. What if you can achieve it much faster and shave off a large amount of time and save yourself time? As I said, time, the most important thing we have, something that we use, we can't get back. We have to maximize our time, use it effectively, and plan to achieve the things we've always want to achieve. So selection, imbalance / focus for longer periods of time. And I look forward to hearing the things that you create in 2017. So if you enjoyed this episode, subscribe below, comment below if you have any thoughts, questions, if you have any observations, if you have any hate, if you want to say hi, if you have anything, comment below. And stay tuned for more episodes coming soon. Make 2017 the best year, and as cliche as that may sound, and people say that every year, but it's not just a year. Any day you can choose, and it can change the rest of your life. So stay tuned for more episodes coming soon.
Achievement accelerated with the Accelerated Achievement Show.